Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Researcher Celebrity. Today we have Dr. Debasis Sahu with us. A brief introduction about Dr. Sahu. He has done his bachelor's in zoology from Delhi University, India, and for master's he attended Jamia Hamdard and did his master's in biochemistry in New Delhi. For PhD, he did his research work at CSIR IGIB, New Delhi, and the area of specialization was in biotechnology. Post PhD, he attended various academic institutes as well as research institutes. So, to start with, he joined as a postdoc for a short time at ICGB, then was awarded Young Scientist Award by DST Serb at NII, National Institute of Immunology, and then joined teaching positions at Lovely Professional University, Punjab, and Amity University, Noida. And currently, Dr. Sahu is Director of Science Habitat, which he himself runs in Ontario, Canada. With this brief introduction, I would like to say thank you so much, Dr. Devashish, for joining us for this conversation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kushal, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my ideas.
So we always start these conversations that how and when you decided that you want to become a researcher.
Yeah, so I cannot recall any single instance which inspired me to become a researcher. So I actually, my father was a doctor, and I was born in a hospital residential campus. So, from a very young age, I used to visit my father, like, and I also visited his laboratories, and I was fascinated looking at the microscopes, and maybe it was during my kindergarten also. So it was kind of maybe I grew up in that environment, so which might have some impact on me to pursue research or to go something related to medical research or biological research. So it might have some impact on me over a period of time. So I think, yeah, that may have contributed to my journey.
So when you started, like as you mentioned about the microscopes, the fascination with them, path labs, and the environment which absolutely you were like born and raised with. Let's start from the high school when in India, and I think this is true for most of the world, that after 10th standard you have this choice that what are the options or the streams you are going to take. So as we can see that you obviously chose biology as your path to work on, and
Yes.
then joining bachelor's in zoology at Delhi University. What was this starting days looks like when you were doing like selecting the biology after your 10th standard?
Uh, okay. So, yeah, it was kind of um, not a direct decision. It was not very obvious, although I grew up in such environment. But there were suggestions pouring in, like you take commerce, you take arts, you can go to civil services. That is a more lucrative field, and maybe you can become a chartered accountant. So somebody said, okay, science is not a field for you. So you looking at your attitude, caliber. There are so many suggestions pouring in. So, but I like followed my instinct. I thought like I should go in the biology stream, since I have been seeing these people, like doctors around me and researchers around me, psychologists, PhDs in anatomy, PhDs in clinical research, so clinical psychology. So I have like interacted with these people. They were our family friends. So that may have um, like instigated me to join biology and to pursue biology. And so I went ahead with that. And
You were
more
joining.
importantly, yeah, more importantly, I should say, like, uh, one of the suggestions I would give the people who are joining biology is like, don't quit mathematics. Mathematics is equally good. I mean, it will help you navigate through many other things in the field of biology.
So, like for some people, PhD is a natural way, the way they see the research as, bachelor's, master's, PhD. How was it for you?
Yes, I wanted to become a doctor as my family was asking me to continue like the legacy. So, but the thing is, I was not very much committed to for being a doctor, because I thought like research, the field of research is equally fascinating, and there are so many things. You get some kind of freedom of choice. Like for example, you get to write your own research ideas, your own research proposal, which is kind of different from what is being done in other fields. For example, you have everything uh, prepared for you. Everything is systematic, and everything is like kind of you you will follow one after the other. There is a flow, um, like systematic flow of everything. So I thought like research is something which is more exploratory in nature. So that's why I pursued PhD.
So let's start with the deep dive in the journey of PhD. How was that for you?
Okay, I'm now looking back and I'm saying that okay, this is exploratory in nature, and I enjoyed that. But when I entered PhD, it was kind of a shock for me, because um, we were used to the classroom teaching, the course curriculum, everything. If something goes wrong, we can reach out to our friends, classmates for notes, and for like we can refer to a particular book which is recommended by our teachers, and we can just navigate through whether it is masters or bachelors. So when you enter PhD, so this is like every young researcher should know ahead of entering PhD, that it is not a kind of uh, curriculum. You have to navigate through it and find your own way out. So that was my first challenge. Like I didn't know what is going on, what I am doing here from morning till evening. I'm doing some kind of experiments. What is my research goal? I was told like you have to figure out your research goal, your topic of interest and things. And whenever I used to reach to a conclusion, okay, this is my topic of interest. So I was told, okay, so this has been done, this has been published, this is being done in the lab, so you cannot take this up. So you have to think something else. So which should be new, should be novel. Then I used to reach out to them with some novel things. Oh, this is not in the scope of our lab. So it was kind of a journey, and uh, to reach a particular topic of interest or the research goal, it's very difficult, and it's a very balanced and calculated way of uh, like going forward. You have to um, you have to consider all the aspects, like the field of research, the interest of your mentor, the resources in the lab or the resources in the institute. So there are so many things you have to take into consideration before you finally reach your topic of interest, which so that um, beginning of the PhD time is very challenging because people are confused. Everybody is just training with other researchers and then still figuring out like what I'm going to do in the next 5 years. So, and this process takes around 1 year or so, sometimes 2 years for some PhD students. And you have to um, keep on doing experiments. The experiments tend to fail, and then you have to sometimes to reach out to a conclusion that, okay, this is the topic of interest, and I should go ahead with this topic for the next 4 years or 3 years. Sometimes people feel frustrated by that time they reach the conclusion level. So yeah, so that was also with me.
So, for all the audience here who are either doing their PhDs or are considering to enroll into PhDs, especially for the people who are considering to join PhD anywhere in this world, there are few key messages which Dr. Shahu just mentioned. That the first one is you have to be at least thorough with the review of literature of your interest, that what you really want to do. Based on that, then you should look at the resources available. So if you're already shortlisted some institutes that where you want to pursue your thing, then you have to see the resources they're limited. What are the resources available in two terms? One, what are the infrastructure which you need to accomplish your research objectives? And then the second, as Dr. Sahu also mentioned, about the expertise of your mentor. Is he or she well qualified for your research objective goal? Because they might be a real expert, big shots in their field. But what you really want to do is something different, which might not align very well in their research group. So you have to consider that. And it goes true for not only starting your PhD, but for all the transitions which you do even after that. These are the things which always remains the same and are the golden standards which should be followed in anywhere in the world whenever you are either making a new move, like from PhD, either joining for PhD, like from masters to PhD or PhD to postdoc, or even if after your postdoc, when you are joining a new institute, these are the things which should be considered because you're going to make a move, and we'll talk a little bit more about these conscious decision making in this conversation. Coming back to Dr. Sahu, you said that all these challenges were like more of the early age PhD challenges. Now
Yeah.
let's talk the middle phase of PhD, when you just touched upon like the frustration which it comes with all the failed experiments, how you tackled, and then now based on your experience of academic research and like in academia which you have done, or in research focused institutes, or now when you have your own mentorship, entrepreneurship. We'll talk about that for later, but for now, how you will guide these researchers who are in their either middle career, like do are already doing PhD postdocs, or the people who have just joined the PhD and are so passionate, enthusiastic that they don't think about that there will be failed experiments which will bring frustration to them.
Okay. So yeah, the second phase is equally important. So here comes the pressure of the publication. So you are hearing here and there, like one of your batchmates has published in a good impact factor paper, and he is asking about yours, and you get frustrated because you have just now like figured out what to do, and your other guys are asking about your publication record and all. So that brings you in immense pressure. So I should say that please uh, um, keep your calm, be composed because the life is long, and the PhD is a small part of your entire life. So don't uh, succumb to any kind of pressure that this friend of mine is publishing this and that. Publish or perish. You will hear so many things like that, and you are still building up your data and you are still um, uh, finding out journals for your data, and you are still lagging behind. Like, okay, this publication needs this much data, so that pressure is kind of um, it is counterproductive sometimes. So you have to take control of your nerves. Don't listen to so many, like, don't go in for competition. So you have to focus on your research. So that is more important, because the past 1.5 years doesn't make any big difference in your research output at the end of the PhD. So even if you don't publish well and you still stick to research, you can do well in the near future. So PhD is not the end of your research career. So,
Yes, yes.
and this third year or fourth year, success is not something which will define your career in long run. So the most important thing is be honest. Sometimes people, they try to cook up data just to show that they are also publishing. So please don't do that. And Do ethical research. Um, um, Sometimes even if your experiments fail, it uh, I mean, I should recall one quotation from Thomas Edison, that I did not fail. I found out 10,000 ways that won't work. So, so I realized this in the almost third or fourth year of my PhD. Like, I had so much of data which was meaningful, and but I did not look carefully into it. So when I like went through my previous data, I had so many nice data to publish, but I overlooked them just because I thought like I failed. But I could figure out a pattern, like, if when I plotted the graphs of my raw data and like made a story out of it. So I saw that I actually did not fail. I was progressively doing a better research with time, and so I my suggestion would be, like, whatever experiments you do, don't consider it as failed if it is not perfectly well as per your expectation. So sometimes you get unexpectedly good results. So go through your data, and the most important thing is record each and every experiment until you finish it, and go through the data again, plot every data, and then uh, try to make a story out of it. What went wrong? Every experiment brings you to the next level. You can find out what went wrong in the previous experiment, so that I can figure it out in the next experiment. So there are so many resources available. For example, I used ResearchGate a lot. I I got so many good protocols over there, which actually worked. I also shared some of my protocols over there, and people liked that, and they gave their feedback that it really worked for us. So nowadays there is artificial intelligence which will help you navigate, like figuring out what went wrong with your experiments. So there are so many things we actually miss. So that brings frustration, and sometimes we feel like we failed, but actually we were progressing. We did not notice that. So and eventually, it's a learning process, and by the end of the PhD, you will always feel accomplished. Okay, that I learned so many things during this journey. Although the terrain was unknown, but I had a beacon of light, and I could sail through this. So with some calculated and balanced decisions and on-time decisions. So that is more important. So you have to be proactive to avoid frustrations. That is what I can pass this message to my younger generation.
I think this is very important, and the way you have narrated is so well that the only thing which now I can say to all the audience here is that Dr. Sahu mentioned that all your experiments are these piece of those puzzles which you have to fix it, to make it complete. Even if this one piece is missing, the story is not complete. And that's when he mentioned that all the data needs to be visualized and think it through. It might not follow your hypothesis, but it must be telling you something which, if you change the perspective, how you're looking at your data, and suddenly everything might start making so much of sense. So never be very adamant on your hypothesis. And this happens to the researchers at their later stages of their career. They with this maturity, if we'll say, sometimes some of the researchers, that is not true for everyone, that they become more and more adamant with their hypothesis, that if they have hypothesized something, everything should follow that. That is not true, and we have seen this all over these decades or centuries in research. What we have seen, so perspective is very important, the way you look at your data. And then observation is always the key, which should be followed. If you are a researcher and you do not have a great observation, I'll say probably research is not for you. Or if you are committed or passionate about research, then there is no way that you can bypass the observation part of it. You have to. So there are certain things which have to be done the way they are. And then the observation is topping on everything, that it whatever the results are coming, how you start making the sense out of that. Because we always say there is nothing called negative data. Whenever
Right.
people say negative data, what I feel is that these data points or data are those points which are not following their hypothesis. That's why they are saying it is negative. Because if it is
Right.
supporting their hypothesis, then they'll say this is positive data, the story is complete, and publish, obviously. So, one thing for early career researchers, which is for sure are non-compromisable, as Dr. Sahu also mentioned, about maintaining those notebooks, those journals. This is one thing which is now with advanced technology, students have iPads, phones, they think that they can remember anything. They make notes sometimes they think that they will make note after a day or two. And then with these years of research, things just perish. And the most problematic part which comes is when you have to troubleshoot. And if
Right.
not everything is written down on your day-to-day basis, troubleshooting can give you a really hard time, which is the reason why people get frustrated with all those field experiments, because they haven't logged it in the way that it should be. Because if you have logged all your experiments, all the methods, protocols you have followed, and you have done it, because you think you are following it, but you are talking to someone and just skip one step or one portion of a step, and then now everything is not going to give you any result. When you are unable to troubleshoot it, then you can seek help from peers. As Dr. Sahu said, ResearchGate at some point of time. Now also people use it, but now the limit is so less because now people have more resources, networking options, either it is LinkedIn or many others where people do connect and ask these questions. So asking for help is I will say that it should be one of the strong characteristic of any researcher. You should seek for it. whenever you are not getting the results you want. Now, coming back to the conversation, Sahu, when you did like all these research things after your PhD, like you joined ICGV, NII, then you moved to academia. How tough was this to make this, decision from research to academia? Because in industry, like when you are doing research in a research focused or institution like ICGB or NII, and when you move to universities like LPU, MIT, which are heavy on teaching, there is a very little part or, some part of research in there. When you made these decisions, what was your thoughts?
Okay, so I actually enjoyed teaching. There is no doubt about it, but I was badly missing the research part. So although these you will hear a lot of research terminologies in these universities, but um, uh, I should say that the research intensive institutes have more focused research, and these universities have kind of the research they are doing is um, not that in depth, I should say, but they are quickly um, uh, like quickly trying to match with the research institutes, which is very good, and they are building up their own research facilities. Like there was one. I mean, every university has this, like the central research facility and the departmental research facilities. These are there, but sometimes you are getting so much busy with the teaching that you cannot focus on your area of interest or your objectives, the research objectives. If you are too much passionate about research objectives, you miss that. So I miss that, but at the same time, I could figure out like I am a good teacher. I could deliver lectures, and I could um, increase the pass percentage of some of the difficult topics like instrumentation, um, genetics. There are so many, I was appreciated for that. So, but the I was still missing research, and what I used to do is on the weekends I used to visit research institutes and do a little bit of experiments. So I was and I used to sneak to the research institutes and talk to my peers over there and do some kind of bioinformatics and wet lab experiments while I was in the university teaching students. So yeah, that was a nice experience, and kind of it helped me a lot and to understand each sector of academia.
So now, when we have talked about your academic research, your like research focus research in there, now you moved to Canada. What were the thoughts and the choices you made this conscious, like, okay, now you are leaving country for good, obviously. But then how did that happen?
Okay, so I can put it in this way, like um, I have an exploratory nature. So it's not just limited to research. It's about exploring other countries, um, learning new things. So that brought me to Canada. Like I was too old for a postdoc. Maybe it was kind of almost 8 years when I reached Canada. So um, So I was looking for some other research-oriented jobs, like um, in the industry. So that brought me to Canada. So I said, okay, I have explored the research institutes, I have explored the universities. Let's explore the industry. What is there in the industry? How they work, how they function. So anyway, at the back of my mind, I had an idea like I'm going to start my own company, own research-oriented company. But for that, I need to gain some experience regarding the research environment in the North America. So I had a job opportunity in hand. So I landed in Canada in February 2020, and the pandemic was declared uh, after 2 weeks. So my job offer was gone, and I was on government aid. And then I started applying for postdocs uh, in the US, because I knew that there is no age limit for that. And just because I was maintaining my research career throughout, so that helped me getting a postdoc position at the New York University School of Medicine, which was later converted to a research scientist position. So, looking at my experience and publications, they converted it to a research scientist position, which was the function is almost that of that of a postdoc only. So I published a couple of papers, and I had the opportunity to brush up my bioinformatics skills, the single cell RNA sequencing skills, and all. So eventually, um, I had to come back to Canada. So I joined um, an industry here.
So now, starting from all these different parts of research in different institutions, countries, like in United States, now what made you an entrepreneur? That thought, because now this is what we are seeing, that researchers, even after their PhD, sometimes even during their PhD, they come up with an idea and then they start their own startup or companies which are successful in so many different part of world. So you started your own company of named as Science Habitat. If you can tell little bit about us, like what you do at there, and then to start with, that how that idea came.
Okay, so the uh, as I worked as a research independent researcher at the National Institute of Immunology with my own grant, and I gained that independence. I gained that confidence that I can um, uh, execute a research work of right from drafting a project proposal to publishing it. And maybe I missed the patent part because it was published earlier. So and so the, so that um, uh, instilled some confidence and some independence within me, and I had so many research ideas to execute, and I was not getting a good platform where I could start my independent research career, leading to some kind of drug discovery and uh, a product which can go from the bench to bedside or the bench to the clinic. So there are so many things, and that's why I tried to gain some experience in the industry. So I joined a company, a contract research organization, which is not very big company, a medium-sized company at Sherbrooke, Canada. So I joined there as a scientist doing proteomics research, and eventually I uh, gained so much of experience how the company runs, how the projects are completed, and which helped me found my own company, which is Science Habitat. So We are giving services to other researchers, other scientists, and even industry partners. So we write like reports with them. We provide publication support and research project proposals, pattern drafting. But at the same time, we are also um, continuing our in-house research on drug discovery. So yes,
So you are following your own dream and still, with all the skill set you have learned, you are helping the researchers around the world. So for
yes,
all the audience, the researchers who are seeking for help, you can contact Dr. Debashis as he runs Science Habitat. So for all the needs, if you have either it is for publication or it is if you need an opinion about, the draft of your research proposal or even patenting, as Dr. Sahu mentioned, you can like now this is one of the resource you can explore for helping you to achieve your research goals. So the idea of entrepreneurship, not many researchers, have this courage to follow it actually. I will say that at least half of the researchers in around the world have this, that they want to do this at some point of their time, but they never had that much of courage because of various constraints in their life, obviously. So what made you break that barrier?
okay. So yeah, it was a hard decision. It was not a easy decision to make because I was getting many postdoc positions in both USA and Canada. So and um, I had to say no just because I wanted to follow my path, which I planned almost around 10 years back. And Yeah, so the thing is, there are so many factors which helped me taking this decision. The one factor I just mentioned, like I could get my own grant and successfully completed with multiple publications. And uh, and the second thing is I have some good research proposals which could be executed. And the third thing is about the finances. So I chose, although um, my objective is to do some drug discovery research, but at the same time, we have to look after our finances, how to run the company, how to run the family. So that's why I had to do some kind of extra work like publication support, the research consultancy, which actually is helping us, which is actually helping us bring building our team, the skill set of our team members. So nothing goes in vain. I mean, there is everything which could be utilized for later phases of your career. So yeah, you have to take risks, but you have to be very calculated and balanced. You have to do some kind of background research, and you have to make sure that you are earning enough to sustain yourself and then later on your company. So yeah.
I think that's a great, beautiful way to say it. Dr. Tiadak always say that PhD is a training for lifetime. It trains you for lifetime. So no matter what you really want to do, as happened in case of Dr. Sahu, whatever he has done, he was collecting all these pieces and then now build up into Science Habitat. We'll say that good luck, Dr. Sahu, for Science Habitat, and for
Thank
all
you
the
very much.
audience, I'll say that if you have any question, you can contact to Dr. Sahu directly, or if you want us to help you with, Empowering Sense Foundation believes in breaking the barrier. Dr. Sahu has broke that barrier when he's like, okay, I will do all my background work. I'll do my finances whenever I feel I'm ready. That's when I'll take the leap of faith and become an entrepreneur, which he's doing really well with this. And also for all the researchers, you have to aim big and try as much as you can do to ensure that whatever you do, you get success in there, but never get disheartened because it is a learning curve. We all know. So, some or the other day, you'll find what you really want to do. With this, we'll say thank you so much, Dr. Sahu, for having this conversation with us and sharing your journey, which I'm sure many of the audience, can connect with and now have this courage to take this their leap of faith.
Thank you so much. I would say I will be happy to help whoever contacts me. Not every support we give is paid. We also give free support to some of, I mean, most of them, to guide what to do next, how to write proposals and all. Yeah, we are open to that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sahu, for that extra information. And to all the audience now, stay tuned for another episode of
I
this episode. Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. Uh, can I excuse me? Hello. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes. It
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, there was a call in between. Just a minute. Just a minute.
Here. So, Dr. Debasis is sharing this, a brief overview of what Science Habitat does so that all the audience can get more benefited with this. Dr. Debasis.
Hi. This is a company, and we consider ourselves as a premier research partner. And from um, proposal to publication. Okay. Our mission is to empower researchers with end-to-end scientific support, enabling them to do groundbreaking discoveries with the help of bioinformatics and computational biology for now. And our core expertise lies in biology, medicine, pharmacology, and many more. And we do advanced data analysis. If you have some kind of raw data with you and you are not getting enough time to analyze those data and to make it publication ready, we are here to help you with that. And or if you are at all thinking like, what should I write if I want to apply for a research grant proposal or manuscript development, we are there. And Obviously, we will be a long-term partner with you. And so these are some of the fields we are working right now, like scientific writing and publication support, data analysis, computational biology, medical and regulatory affairs, statistical data analysis, and scientific editing. And um, there are additional specialized services customized for your basic needs. And how we can help? We have publication support as uh, and we are also partnering with industry clients and innovators and scientists. And so we just call for collaboration. So we have research project proposals, and we want to collaborate with academia and industry partners to take it forward for publication and patent ready. So we are always inviting such worthy clients or collaborators to work with us in the field of omics and drug discovery. Thank you. This is what I have.
Okay, thank you very much. And now I believe that all the audience who were looking for some options where they can get the help, now you are there. So good luck with Science Habitat. And to the researchers, stay tuned for other episode of Researcher Celebrity. And if you have questions for Dr. Sahu, please write it to him or connect because they are open for collaboration also. So don't think like obviously about like you have to pay for all the services because Dr. Sahu said that some of the services are free. So you can just either collaborate, take their services, and enjoy the research and do whatever makes you happy. And with this, we'll say thank you to Dr. Sahu and to everyone who has participated in this conversation and enjoyed it.